Okay, so interpreting slope. Often in linear situations, we just talked about in the opener today that the slope was the same as what? What else did I call it? The rate of change. Very good. So when I ask you to interpret the slope, I'm really going to just ask you, how is that quantity changing? Maybe it's over time. A lot of times it's over time. And on a graph, I hope we know, it's how the vertical axis changes, because what's on the vertical axis? Which coordinate? The y. Versus how the horizontal axis changes. Doesn't that kind of make sense with what we've been talking about, like with slope? Okay. Typically in these situations, x is going to be time. All right, what about the y-intercept? What do we need to know about the y-intercept in a word situation? The y-intercept is like our starting value. Like, where does it start? At time 0 or at quantity 0? Or have you heard the phrase initial condition before? Okay, initial means beginning value. So it's going to be the amount we have at the start, or it can be the value of y when x equals 0. Okay, let's take a look at this one below. I'll read it for you, with you. An exercise might say, talk about how the population grows year on year in a certain city, assuming that the population increases by a certain fixed amount every year. For every year that passes, that is, for every increase of 1 on the horizontal axis, the population would increase or move up. Or maybe what would happen if the population was decreasing? What would happen to the line? It would move down. Okay. All right. The y-intercept would be the population when the sociologists, if you don't know what that means, that's not a big deal. Typically people who measure populations are sociologists. Maybe you want to go to school to be a sociologist to measure populations. I don't know. So, but normally, like, time, they haven't been keeping track of it forever, so normally they're going to give like a starting time. Like maybe they started keeping track of the population in 1970, so the initial population isn't always going to be at 0, it's going to be wherever they started keeping track. That makes sense. So, for instance, let's say I kept track starting at 1997, that would be my year 0. So what if I look to 2000 then? What would that be in this scenario? If 1997 was where I started, then that would be like year 3. Okay. Let's do this together. This is the value of washing machines over time. Okay. Can somebody tell me, look at the graph, what's the y-intercept? Okay. Basically, maybe you're too young for this, but when you buy a washing machine brand new, it's going to be at the most value. And as years go on, it gets older, right? Kind of like a car. Yeah. So that's why this is going down. So what does this 500 mean then? Yeah, how much, you're on the right track, how much the washing machine costs initially. All right, let's see if we can figure out the slope here. I think the easiest thing is to go from here all the way down to here, because I don't see that this, some of you tried to do this on your quiz, it doesn't hit really any grids perfectly, and then I'm estimating. If I said rise over run, how far down does that go? Don't even look at the tick marks. Goes down 500 over 5. Okay, let's write that. The slope is negative 500 over 5. Can you divide those two for me? What do you get? Negative 100. Okay, what do you guys think this means? Every year, the washing machine decreases in value by $100. Very good. Every year, the washing machine decreases in value by $100. Okay, let's look at the next equation. The equation A equals 75 minus 5W gives the amount in Micah's account. We're going to assume it's a bank account for W weeks. These are the same problem. Can somebody tell me what the slope is here? Identify it from the equation for me. What do you think, Shane? What's the slope? It isn't, but think y equals mx plus b. Like, where's my, the slope is next to the variable. Autumn? Yeah, did you say negative 5? The slope, not the y-intercept yet. We'll do the y-intercept in a sec. Because this is like my x, my weeks, negative 5x. So this is Micah's money in his account. Tell me what that negative 5 means. Soraya? Yeah. $5 per week. So maybe Micah is spending $5 a week, I don't know, but money's coming out of his account $5 a week. Okay, let's go to this one. I don't know why. I don't know. Candy, maybe. What's the y-intercept? 75. What does this mean? Yeah, but what does it mean for his account?
That's where he started.
Yep. There is $75 in his account to start. Okay.